Hi, this is Dani Beit-Or from SimplyDoIt. You can find us online on simplydoit.net, and also we have properties listings on reistart.com. What I want to do today is actually show you a flip property that we have recently completed about maybe a week ago. Completed, sold, profited. And I want to kind of use that as a really walk you through a really realistic example of how things evolve and happen when it comes to flipping houses. So this house, just so you know, this house is in one of the Chicago metros. So it's about actually about an hour outside of Chicago. Um, I am my company myself, our headquarters in Orange County, California. And this is an investment we did with one of our investors who's also based in Orange County, California. So the parties that are involved are based in California. The property is located in Chicago, and this is a full flip. Before we dive into all the details, and I want to show you, a lot of details about this flip and what we've learned, I want to kind of walk you or show you the photos of before and afters. And by the way, if you go on our website, reistart.com, and look for this flip, you'll be able to see videos as well before, during, and after of this house. So I'm not gonna play them now. You're most welcome to visit and watch those short videos. Those are 2, 3, 4 minutes videos at a time. I think we have 5 of them. We always want to create a lot of transparency into what's going on with the projects. So that's why we try to create videos and photos. But let's look at the house when we bought it, what it looks like. And I want to warn you, those are not pretty photos at all. So here's the property, and I'm going to slowly scroll down to show you how this house looked like when we purchased it. What you can see on the right-hand side, by the way, we had a serious plumbing issue that I will talk about, and which we took care of it. That's how it looked like. But this is the house, bad roof, really messy, really bad shape. I mean, nothing wrong with it, except that it was really kind of neglected and needed a lot of work to kind of bring it up to code and up to standard. So there was you'll see a lot of mess and neglection, and just needed work on this house. You can see the bathtub was just dirty, ugly. By the way, as someone who flips houses, I can tell very clearly this is an excellent opportunity. This is exactly what we're looking for. Something that would be, would look like poor shape, that we can go in and fix up. It only needs some time, attention, money, and we'll be able to fix everything. So I just want to show you, this is the house, how we bought it. I don't think someone really lived in it just before. I think it was just been sitting there for some time. And we got in, and obviously we fixed up everything. I'm kind of going slowly just to give you a taste of this house before we will see the after, of course. And then we will go into the details. Okay. Some nice looking gentleman describing what's going on. I've been to this house 2 or 3 times when I was traveling to the area to check out on it. I think 3 times when I was checking out on it. And obviously this is the house when it's completed. You can already tell it's changing. And this is how this house looks like when we sold it. So really gorgeous, beautiful house. Everything was fixed. I mean, this is just time and money and attention to details, and we can fix it. Now let's dive into the details, talking about the details. Let's really dive into the details of this property. So this property needed a new roof. You could see that everything needs to be paint, interior, exterior, flooring, completely redo the kitchen, completely redo the bathroom. And a lot of touch-ups, right? You fix doors and fix closet, and from tiny stuff from lighting fixtures to plastic covers for the electrical outlets and switches and so on, all the way to really fixing up the bathroom and fixing up the holes in the walls, in the kitchen and everything. So obviously that was just an extensive work. When we started this project, and you can see we have a plan versus actual, we believe it's going to be about 3 months to renovate it. And we bought it in July, and we thought we were going to take about 3 months to renovate, and maybe another 2 months or so for to sell it. So we believed we would be in about 5 to 6 months all in. In reality, it took longer. A couple of reasons it took longer, and which I will explain in a second. Let's just go through the numbers. So the purchase price was $69,500 with some closing costs. Renovation went from $35,000 to $41,000, which is about a little bit over $6,000 in over budget, and the reasons for that. So we spent, all in all, actually, we spent $115,000 or almost $116,000. So all in all, we were actually on budget. Although the renovation actually went $6,000 over budget, we did, and I'll explain to you that in a second, we did stay within budget, I would say normally within budget. When we did the ARV analysis, how much we can sell this house, the agent was very confident he can sell it for $160, but said we probably should list it for $160, but would probably sell it for $155. And from our analysis, we even knock it down to $145 selling price. So when we analyzed this property, we took into consideration a little bit more conservative approach of $145. That was the working assumption, and we factored in, obviously less expenses, and I'll explain that in a second, why it went up so much, why the sales expenses went up higher than expected. So a couple of things here. So we ended up selling it for $163, and that's the reason you see the sales commission is higher. The sales expenses primarily have two things that we didn't factor here, but we did factor over here. The property taxes were paid out of the closing, so that's why it's part of the sales expenses. So that's easily, I think, $3,000 ish, just account for that. And we also brought the price up as much as we could because the buyer wanted seller contribution. So we actually spent $4,000 seller contribution to the buyer. So if you actually knock off the $4,000 seller contribution plus $3,500 in taxes that we accounted for in another part of the cost, you actually that makes it about $10,000. No, actually $7,500. That brings down the sales expenses to roughly $3,000, $3,500, which is very much close to what we were planning. All in all, the projected profit was $21,000, and we ended up actually getting a $28,500 profit on this deal, which is 25% on the return on the investment. So we actually did better than expected on the money. However, this project, instead of taking about 5 to 6 months, this is five and a half months, it actually took more like 9 months. And the reason it took 9 months, the main reason it took 9 months, was the contractor that we started working with did a fairly good job at the beginning, and as he progressed through the renovation, he actually started messing up. Nice guy, good intentions, but when it came to doing the finishes, that's where his true abilities came to light. He wasn't able to do that, and we had to eventually kick him out. And in order to stay within budget or not go much over budget, we had to find solutions, how to continue working without overspending. Every time in the past that I had to replace a contractor on a project, that's always a very costly situation. So we were able to somehow pull it together with our local teams and find people that we told them we'll give them more work on another project, and actually get them to do it for less than they would normally do. And that's how we were able to, kind of stay within budget. However, when you do this type of solution, when the contractor is messing up, it's actually going to cost you in time, because people are doing it as somewhat of a favor or extra, after hours or so on. So it does cost you in more time. So the main reason we ended up with taking longer is because of that situation. That's probably easily accounting for a month and a half, 2 of the addition time. We also had 2 major change orders. One was we had a plumbing issue that we had to bring a plumber to really, dig into the concrete and solve some probably 3-4 feet of a serious plumbing issue. That was just a delayed. It actually ended up not costing us at all, because this was an insurance incident and we got paid for the insurance, so we actually had money coming in early on. It just caused a delay. And we also, if you see, we had some backyard grading that we needed to take care of that wasn't accounted for at the beginning, and we found it only when the weather hit us. So we had to do that as well. So those actually created an additional expenses for us and caused some delays. The closing altogether, the closing of the putting it for sale until we actually got the right buyer here in, took probably about a month longer than we expected. And the buyer that we had in mind, we just went back and forth trying to help them qualify for a mortgage in order to maximize our, the price or the net price that we want to sell it for. So all in all, this project had unexpected, problem with the plumbing, an unexpected problem with grading the backyard, not heavily, unexpected expenses, just a little bit delays. The major issue was the contractor who couldn't finish the job properly, and we had to let him go. But other than that, 9 months, very nice return, very nice ROI, no complaints. Typical project that we usually have. So this is a done deal, sold, profit, money in the bank. Just another flip that we've done. If you have any questions about this flip or other flips, by all means, give me a call, email us. We'll be happy to provide you with information. I am Dani Beit-Or from SimplyDoIt. You can contact us on simplydoit.net or on reistart.com. Both of them are our website. Thank you very much for taking the time, and I wish you successful investing. Bye-bye.